gratitude is an essential part of my life and my story and the life that I have created. But I know that gratitude can also be used as a spiritual bypass. You can be upset, you can be devastated, and still be in gratitude for the cup of coffee that you're holding. Welcome to Collective Guidance with your host, Charla Goodnight. This is a space where we come together to share wisdom, stories, and insights from thought leaders and everyday humans alike. Here, you'll find conversations on spirituality, health, wellness, parenting, and the human experience, all designed to remind you that you are not alone and that we are all connected. Let's step into the guidance we can only find together. Welcome to Collective Guidance with your host, Charla Goodnight. I am so grateful to have you here. In our last episode, I had such a fun, juicy conversation with Jen Mazer, Queen of Manifestations. If you haven't listened to it yet, I highly recommend it. You definitely need to go back after this one and give it a listen. It is a masterclass in dreaming bigger and actually letting those dreams land in your real life. And today's episode is an integration session. Think of it as, okay, that was amazing, but now what do I do? How do I incorporate this in my actual life? What steps do I take? So let's dive in. Let's start with the line that's still ringing in my body from the conversation with Jen. We don't need to reconnect to the universe. We just need to remember that we're already connected. It is all about remembrance. And that lands so deeply for me because how often do we approach manifesting like, I need to raise my vibe. I need to meditate. I need to visualize. I need to get back into alignment. I need to call it in harder. It's all very fix my energy. And the thing is that there's nothing to fix, babe. Oh, we just need to remember. What if we were already in the quantum field, already wired into source, God, universe, whatever word fits for you. And all we have to do is have remembrance. Go back to remembering who we are and what we came from, relaxing and responding instead of straining, forcing, hustling your way into worthiness. So that's the whole foundation of this episode. You are already connected. Your desires are not random, and you are not doing this alone. You are always connected. One of my favorite things from my talk with Jen was the idea that when you have a desire, a dream, a flash of what if, that's not something you're making up. That's you receiving a vision from your highest good, from source. And I really want you to notice how that shifts things in your body. If your dream is a different job, a loving relationship with a soulmate, more time freedom, new level of income, health in your body. I know how that one is, and I achieved that one. And wow, I completely manifested that for myself. a different way of parenting. The thing is that we are given this information and the universe is showing us our future that already exists in the quantum field, in the potential, and it's inviting us into it. I've seen this so many times in my own life through attracting the relationship that I want and desired to my health. And I told this story in the episode with Jen about my cycling studio, how I had this wild thought. Wouldn't it be amazing to teach cycling on the beach and live out that dream that I had always had of being like Gilad or Denise Austin? And the funny thing is that when I had that thought and that desire, I didn't know how. I didn't know the strategy. I didn't have the strategy at all I had was this thought and this desire to live out my 20 something year old dream of teaching fitness on the beach. And then months later, corporate office for La Playa called me up while I was sitting at my desk at my cycle studio and asked if I would be interested in teaching a fitness class. And of course, I said yes. It was not logical. It was not linear. I did not hustle my way into this energy. It was a complete co creation with Source God. So I want you to practice this. Next time you feel a desire rise up, instead of saying, "Who do I think I am?" or "I don't know if I could do that. Why would I have that thought?" Try this instead. Try saying, "Oh, I'm being shown something. I'm being invited." You don't have to know how yet. You don't even have to feel ready. I know when the universe gave me the idea of this podcast, I didn't know how. I did not know anything about podcasts, but I just listened and I felt the feeling of what it would be like to have a podcast and to share information with others in a space called collective guidance. I did not shut the door on it immediately. I allowed it to simmer and to develop. Another reframe from Jen that I loved was most of us treat our goals like we're pushing a boulder up a mountain, that if I don't push, nothing will happen. And if I relax, it'll all roll back down and it will crumble. It's all on me feeling the complete burden that it's all on you. That is survival mode, hustle mode, burnout mode. Instead, Jen offered this image of being gently pulled into your dreams like a rising balloon, like a balloon rising, gently being pulled into your dreams. I love this so much because we already have enough on our plate. We don't need to feel our our dreams are becoming one more heavy thing that we are not achieving. So try this on. I am being pulled toward what's meant for me. I am being pulled toward what's meant for me. I still have to walk. I still have to show up, but I am not dragging my life behind me. I am being guided. I am being guided. You are always being guided, always. Now, let's talk about vibes for a second. Jen also in the episode talked about vibes, your vibration, because this can get fluffy and ungrounded, right? But it doesn't have to. Here's a simple version. You are always broadcasting something. Your energy is always broadcasting something. You are always receiving something. Right now, you are receiving my energy that I am giving out. I want you to think about, uh, how you walk into a room and immediately you feel, oof, something's off here. Or you see someone and you think, I have no idea who she is, but I like her energy. That's how I have made the most amazing friends, is because I noticed their energy and I wanted to be their friend. We pick up on frequency, body language, tone, subtle cues. Our nervous system is smart. It knows what's happening. So when we talk about raising your vibration, we're not asking for one to be fake positive or ignore whatever pain you're experiencing. We're talking about letting your emotions actually move through you, releasing your emotions, choosing where you place your focus, and taking small actions that create more aliveness in your system. Like, what brings you joy? And figuring that out and doing that instead of being in a lower vibration. The higher your internal movement of joy, love, gratitude, curiosity, the more magnetic you feel, the more likely you are to notice and act on opportunities that match that which you desire. And the thing is that it's not magic. It's nervous system plus attention plus action. Your nervous system, your body is vibration, and you are drawing in that which meets your vibration. Jen shared her acronym BEAM, and I want to recap it in my own words because it's really, really usable. BEAM stands for belief, expectation, action equals manifestation. Let's slow that down. Belief, belief. Everything starts with the imagination piece. You allow yourself to see it. I could have that kind of relationship. I could have a pretty awesome business that supports my family and my nervous system. I could feel totally at home in my body and feel regulated. The belief isn't, I know exactly how it will happen. It's, this is possible for me. Everything is possible for me. You believe that the universe is supporting you and guiding you. The second letter, E, expectation, is kind of a sneaky one, right? And you might believe something is possible in theory, but deep down, a lot of people don't actually expect it to happen to you. Expectation sounds like, I know I'm supported. I know everything works out for me. Even when I can't see it yet, I know this is going to work out for me. If it's not this person, house, or job, there will be something aligned to me. It doesn't have to be exactly, it is the feeling that you want. My desires are not a tease, they're a promise. That expectation lets you loosen the desperate grip on the form, and it allows you to trust the underlying feeling of what you're calling in. The expectation allows you to trust in the underlying feeling of what you're calling in. You trust because you know it's going to happen, that everything is working out for you. The third letter, A, action. This is where a lot of spiritual women get stuck, right? We get stuck in the action. And I'm not going to say it's because you're lazy, because it's not. It it's because fear dresses up as, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. I don't know the first step. It's not the perfect time yet. I need more time. I need more clarity first. So we have so many of these I don't know. And I get it. When I was starting this podcast, I didn't know the first step, but I trusted, and the universe showed me the first step. Most of the time, we do know the very first step. We may not know the step 17, but step 1, our body typically knows. And it might be that send the email, book the consultant, sign up for the class, call this person, have the hard conversation, right? And it's always doing the thing that is uncomfortable. The first step is always uncomfortable. It could also be rest so you can hear yourself again. That's an important one, resting. So when belief and expectation are there, action stops feeling like proof that you are worthy and more like a natural response that you're being shown to do. The action just comes really, really easily because you have the belief and expectation there. Jen said something that I deeply agree with, and it's taking it back to that uncomfortable. She said, it's not hard, it's just uncomfortable. Your dream life will feel so unfamiliar, even if it's beautiful, even if it's everything you've ever wanted, it will feel unfamiliar. And Colette Baron Reed says, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to get the same results. So doing something that is unfamiliar and uncomfortable are going to produce you different results. And, you know, even if it feels uncomfortable, that doesn't mean you're off track. If it feels like that wasn't the right step to take, it doesn't mean that you're off track. It means that you left your comfort zone. And I want you to hold this. Hold this thought. Okay? I want you to realize that discomfort is often a sign of expansion, that I am I am expanding and growing in every way. Now, I'm not saying that you need to bulldoze over your fear. I believe that we can allow fear to walk with us and be there next to us, but we don't have to let fear control how we act, that it is not part of our action at all. There was another moment when we were talking, and it was the restaurant analogy with Jen. And I'll put it in my language. When you go to a restaurant, you give the server your order. You tell them what you want. The server takes it, writes it down, puts it in the computer. The kitchen gets the order, starts making the order, and then the order eventually comes out. Now, if the order is taking 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or a little bit longer than necessary, yeah, we may call the waiter over and ask, hey, I just wanted to make sure everything was okay with my order. But we don't get up from the table and throw the table and say, see, I knew this place sucked. We don't do that. And that's the same thing with manifesting. You put your order in, you get in the feeling with it, you get in seeing it, owning it, feeling it, knowing that the universe has your order. And then you just wait. And you wait patiently, and you don't keep thinking, oh, when is the universe going to give me my XYZ, my partner, my abundance? No, you just stay in the feeling of it because you placed your order. You don't have to say, see, it didn't work out for me. That's not what it's about. It's about knowing and trusting and having that expectation that it is going to happen. You don't abandon yourself. And if need be, you pivot. You pivot, right? Jen made a gorgeous point about getting specific in our interview. And she was talking about with our big dreams and especially with relationships and the big life dreams that we have, it is so important to be specific, not to the exact person, job, or house, but it is clarifying the feeling, being really specific on the feeling of what you're calling in. For example, instead of, I want my soulmate, you get specific about how do you want to feel when you're with them? You want to feel safe, seen, playful, desired, passionate, you know, adventurous. You want to feel what it feels like to be in their presence. You want to feel what it feels like to co-create with someone, to support each other in their life's work and growth. You want to feel it. You don't want to determine the exact form of it. You want to feel it. And that can happen the same thing with money, your schedule, your home, anything. You want to feel what it would feel like to be in that timeline because it's only a timeline and you can shift into that timeline very fast by getting in the feeling of it because you become an energetic match for it. And when you become an energetic match for it, you start tasting the feeling now instead of putting it off until later. There's no need to put it off till later. You can feel it now and become an energetic match to it. Lately, I've noticed on social media that there has been a lot of talk of gratitude, and Jen and I touched on gratitude, and you guys know how much I love gratitude. And gratitude is an essential part of my life and my story and the life that I have created. But I know that gratitude can also be used as a spiritual bypass. You don't have to be either happy or mad. You don't have to be grateful or mad. You can be upset. Okay. You can be upset. You can be devastated and still be in gratitude for the cup of coffee that you're holding. You can be frustrated and still be grateful for your kids. You can be in the process of dealing with something and still honor the progress you've made. It does not have to be or, it can be and. And that is something so important in life, that life is not either or, it is and. And I want you to know what you focus on expands. So if you can focus on gratitude, you can draw more to you. And I want you to know the universe is not punishing you for being sad, but your attention is a flashlight. And so whatever you put your attention on, that is going to expand and you're going to experience more of it. And that's so important to remember, that when we want more in life, we need to remember everything that we have and be grateful for it. In the last episode, I really appreciated that Jen addressed something a lot of manifesting content skips over. And listen, I know life can be really, really hard. People go through trauma. And I want you to know it's not your fault. You did not attract abuse. Okay. You did not manifest your illness because you weren't positive enough. Things happen. We have to be very careful here. Okay. That you are not manifesting your illness. Things happen. I know that we can heal our bodies, though, by calming our nervous systems down. And one of the ways of calming our nervous system down is forgiveness. And Jen and I talk about forgiveness. And in this context, it is not saying, what happened was okay. I'm not saying that. We were not saying that. It is not excusing the harm that's happened or spiritually sugarcoating the real pain that we feel in this human experience. Forgiveness is releasing the energetic grip that old events still have on your present moment. No longer allowing those moments to trigger you into a lower vibration. It is about letting your heart be more free, seeing yourself with compassion instead of constant blame. It is letting go of the negative energy, and most importantly, forgiving ourselves for staying too long, not seeing the red flags, coping in ways now that we're ashamed of, not being who we wish we had been. And I want you to know, if that's you, hear this. Okay. You did the best you could with the tools that you were given and your nervous system had at the time. And Now you're gathering new tools. You have new tools now in your toolbox. And one of the practices that Jen shared is the simple Hawaiian prayer of Ho'oponopono. And Mary Isis has a beautiful version of that you can listen to over and over and over again. And you can say this prayer to yourself over and over again. I have stood in front of the mirror and said this prayer to myself. And the prayer is, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. I love you. You can do this in your imagination, sending light to your heart and to the person's heart that you need to forgive. Like I said, I like to do it in front of the mirror. And at first, you don't have to believe it. You don't have to fully believe it at first, but I guarantee you it will soften you one layer at a time. One layer at a time, you'll feel softer and you will feel more compassion for yourself. Okay, so let's get really practical now. If you're like, Charla, I love all of this, but I have like 15 minutes a day max. This this is it. All I have is 15 minutes. Here are 3 simple practices you can weave into your real life right now to start embodying everything that we talked about. One is the vision drop. You only do this once. Then you revisit it occasionally. Yeah, I revisit my big vision about every 3 to 6 months. I'll sit down and write my big vision and see how it's adjusted. So this is take one pocket of time, maybe 20 to 30 minutes, and write out your vision. A couple of key guidelines into this is you want to write in the present tense. Okay. So in the present tense means I have, I am, I feel. Okay. You don't want to write I will, I want. It has to be in the present moment. And when you're doing it, when you're writing in the present moment, you want to feel it. My bills are paid in full. How does that feel? Gosh, that feels so damn good. That just like, oh, I feel financially supported. I feel secure in myself. Include in this both what your life looks like and how you feel inside of it. And we're not doing the 3-6-9 method of manifesting. Okay. This is not something that you have to read 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times at night. No, 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 no. This is you're placing your order with the universe and with yourself. And like I said, I like to update mine every 3 to 6 months just because I'm always expanding. And this is a great place to start. Write it down. So, daily practices, you want to give yourself 5 minutes daily. And I want you to make the priority flip. You want to flip the priorities. You want your big dream, that thing that you want the most. You want to put that priority 1. Okay. Priority 1 that you will get accomplished that day is for your big dream. Kind of like with the podcast. If I would not have put priority 1 podcast work as my number 1 thing to do each day, it probably wouldn't have gotten done. Okay. And then at the bottom of the list, you get to do, laundry. You get to do emails, everyone else's needs, right? So you can either do this first thing in the morning. What's one small action I can take today that moves my dream forward? And it's not build a website. It's more like brainstorm other websites, look at other websites, do research on what other people's about pages look like and what I want my website to look like. It's not build my entire website, right? It's small, actionable steps that you can take each day. Make that your first priority. So that's the first thing you do every day, and you write that first thing in the morning. Or I like to sometimes write it at night. So when I wake up the next day, I know that is the one thing that I am going to get done that day. And then the only other thing you need to do each day, it's priority flip is the first thing you need to do. And then gratitude. And Wayne Dyer talks about this, about at the end of the day, you reflect on your day about 3 things that you are grateful for and 3 things that really just lit you up. And then you can also do a little self-reflection about what you really liked in the day and how the day went for you. So those are the 2 things that you should do every day is priority flip and reflect on your day and get in a lot of gratitude for it. I'm going to leave you with one more thing that I find was really important. There's so many other things that were really important from that episode on Monday, but it is switching your language from have to get to. When you say you have to do something, the universe that is like I have to. But when you say I get to, it is like, woo, I get to do that. I get to drive my kids to school. I get to go to work. I get to make dinner. It is about, you know, saying to the universe, yes, thank you. I'm being invited to co-create. I am not being punished. I am being invited to co-create. So I hope this episode resonated with you guys. I hope that this little recap, there's so much more juicy information in Jen's interview, and I hope that you check it out. Know this, the universe is always working for you, always working for you. And you are always being guided. And if you want more guidance, if you want the universe to really talk to you, do what feels good for you. Have joy, expand, say yes, laugh, enjoy, dance, play, and you will receive more and more guidance. I am sending you off with tons of love, joy, remembrance that you are an incredible creator. And I hope this episode really resonated. Thank you so much. If you like this episode, please like, subscribe, comment, share your feedback. You can follow us on Instagram at Collective Guidance Podcast or on TikTok at Collective Guidance. We're on all social platforms. So come play with us, talk to us. We look forward to connecting. Have a fabulous day. Thank you for joining me today on Collective Guidance. I hope you feel lighter, more inspired, and deeply connected to your own path. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Collective Guidance or our website, collectiveguidance.com. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with a friend and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Until next time, may you walk with clarity, courage, joy, and love.